Hi, welcome to episode 108 of the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over, join. Thank you so much for being here. So, it has been quite the week. I finished stuff and I frogged a whole sweater. But let's start in the beginning. I have on the first thing no, it's actually the second thing that I finished, but I wanted to wear the other one for the rest of the podcast. So I have on the Carbeth by Kate Davis. The pattern is a paid for Ravelry pattern. And this is what it looks like. She uses her own yarn. It's a DK weight that she holds double. So this is a very warm and very, very thick sweater. So I'm going to show you what mine looks like. So if I do it like she does, my arms out, it is not as oversized as hers, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be not that oversized, and I also made it quite a bit longer because her version would have hit me exactly at the waist. And I want to wear this primarily with the Hollyburn skirts that I have, but I also want to be able to wear it with a pair of jeans without being practically naked. So I decided to do it like this. Also, her sleeves, I did everything exactly like the pattern says, except for lengthening the body. Her sleeves are turned up because she's quite short. I think that was supposed to happen, but mine just fit perfectly. So no turning up on the sleeves. Yeah, apart from that, I really like it. My yarn is so busy that you can't really see the shaping up here. It looks exactly the same from the back, so I'm not going to turn around. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It is extremely warm. So the pattern calls for her yarn, like I said, a DK weight held double. And I decided I wanted to use up some stash. So I held 3 yarns together, and one of them is actually 5 strands of stuff. So this is one of the yarns that I held, and it has 5 different strands: a white, a black, a gray, a pink, and a dark red. Then, and I have no idea what it is. I think it might be a cotton wool polyamide something. Then I used this lace weight cashmere. That's 100% cashmere. And black Regia sock yarn. So these yarns I held together to get this sweater. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I think it's amazing. It's nice to wear. The Regia sock yarn is not the softest thing, but the other 2 yarns are very soft, so it is actually nice to wear. So yeah, this is my Carbeth. I knit this on 6 and 6.5 millimeter needles. That's a US 10 and 10.5. And my problem was, I started this in January and knit the whole body up here in one day. And then I didn't want to knit the sleeves magic loop because I just don't like magic loop. And I had hopes to find a 6.5 millimeter DPN set. Yeah, no, there is no 6.5 millimeter DPNs. They just don't exist. You can get 6s, you can get 7s. That's US 10s and 11s, or no, 10s and 10.75s, because you guys don't do 7 millimeter. So I couldn't find them. And my friend actually went through all of her needles, and she thought that maybe a set that she had gotten from her mom that was like 100 years old would be a 6.5 mil, but it wasn't. So yeah. I had to knit the sleeves magic loop. After all, I pulled it out maybe a week ago, knit a sleeve a day, joined in the round for the yoke, did that in a day, and then knit the collar and wove in all the ends. So it actually would have been a sweater that, you can bang out in like 10 days, but it took me 10 months. So yeah, here it is, the Carbeth. I'm gonna stand up once more. I love it. I think it looks amazing. I still have to get pictures and put it up on my Ravelry, but not today because it is raining like crazy. It's just super dreadful weather, which I love. So yeah, okay, now this is done. Now, the next thing that I finished is the Enchanted Mesa by Stephen West. And I will put this on as well to show you what it looks like on me. But I'm not sure if I will keep it on for the rest of the podcast, because I know I said the weather outside is awful, and it is. It's very cold, it's raining, it's just gloomy and blah, which, like I said, I love. It's my favorite type of weather. But we made a fire, and I'm sitting quite next to the oven, and it is very warm in here. So now, Enchanted Mesa. This is by Stephen West, and this is awkward to put on. So that's actually why I'm doing it on the podcast, because I wanted you all to see what a struggle it is to put this thing on. So I have to pull it down on all ends to make it sit somewhat comfortable. So yeah, here it is. This is what the Enchanted Mesa looks like. And yeah, as you can see, it's a bit restricting. But I actually quite like it, because if I just sit around, you know, talk to you or knit or stuff like that, it's fine. Doing this, not so good, because now my whole belly is practically naked. So yeah, pulling it down again. Okay, now let's talk about the sweater. It's a whole lot of pulling and fuzzing. Okay, now Enchanted Mesa. Pattern is by Stephen West. It is a paid for Ravelry download, or it's in his West Knits Best Knits book 2 sweaters. I have the book, so I use the book. I'm going to show you his version, and his version looks like this. So I used all yarns from stash, because I'm actually on a mission to use up my stash, but it doesn't really work. So not sure how I always manage to buy new stuff. Oh look, there's my swatch for Carbeth. Okay, so the Enchanted Mesa was knit out of 4 different yarns from my stash. I used handspun, so this here and this here at the bottom is my handspun, and also that on the sleeve. And I had 2 bats that were the exact same thing, and they were from politically incorrect fibers, and I spun them as a gradient. And what I did for it was, I had the first skein, I started with pink and ended down here in the black, but I ran out of it. So I attached a second skein the other way around and started with the black and made it go all the way back to pink here. So it actually fades from pink back to pink. And then I had a little bit left. I was afraid to run out and not be able to finish the short rows, but I was, and I had this much left in the end after putting in some rows on the sleeves, because I ran out of one of the main colors. So this here, handspun. For all the ribbing on the sweater, I used Regia Angora. Wait, I did have a thing. There it is. This is the label for this. It's a sock yarn with 10% Angora in it. And I have this dusky pink that I used. So this is what I used for all the ribbing on the sweater, because I just thought it went well with the whole color scheme. And my 2 main yarns were a opal yarn. It's called Opal Royal. I'm not sure if they still do this, but it's basically a sock yarn with sparkle in it. And it came in 50-gram skeins. So this is what I have left of this one. And the other yarn, I held this together with Wollmeise lace. And I had a 100-gram skein because it came in a kit. And this is how much I had left. And this is also the reason why one of the sleeves has pink in it, because I just ran out. And yeah, the sleeves are not, as you can see, they are not down to here. They are here. If I just stand up and have it really pulled down everything, they go to my wrist, but they will never stay there because I move occasionally. So yeah, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. I used up some stuff that I had in my stash for a very long time. I spun the handspun in 2011. because I checked yesterday for yardage because I wanted to enter all the yardage into my Ravelry page because I really want to know in the end of the year how many meters or yards of yarn I used up. So yeah, I checked on my old blog and I spun this yarn in 2011. That's been a long while, you know, it's a long time ago. So yeah, I'm gonna stand up once more to show you. I really like it. I think it turned out nice. I love the colors and I love the way I managed to get them to do what I want them to do. But yeah, this is what it looks like when I pull it all down. It looks the exact same from the back because it does not have a front and back. So what I decided to do is have the swooshy thing on my left shoulder. But yeah, I like it. I really do. And now that I'm wearing it, having the arms just pulled up to my elbows, you can see that it's actually not that bad. So I enjoy this. What else? I knit this sweater on a US 6 and US 8. That's 4 and 5 millimeter needles. I did exactly what the pattern calls for. The only thing I did was a 1x1 twisted rib for all the hems instead of rolled hems or I-cord stuff. So yeah, really happy with it. Now, the third thing that I have done is my vanilla sweater. I started a sweater out of brown variegated yarn, and it was supposed to be my non-thinking knitting while reading in between projects project. And I wasn't quite sure if I liked it or not. And then I started knitting the sleeves this week and I decided that I absolutely hated it. So what I did, I had the full body done fingering weight sweater. And here it is. Here's my sweater. I ripped the whole thing back. Yeah. Ripping a complete sweater back, not fun. Not fun. But for the best, because I love the yarns separate, except for this one. I'm going to talk about this later. I love this yarn. That is this Cardigan C. I love it. I will knit something nice for around my neck. I also love this one, Marigold Gen in the Earl Grey colorway. Wonderful yarn. Gonna knit a pair of socks, maybe for my husband. This yarn here was what I started to work with for the sleeves. It's hand dyed by a out of business German indie dyer, and I hate it. The quality is not nice. It's very, very thin. I have actually no idea what I will do with it because I'm not happy with it. So yeah, that's it. Finished. I frogged a whole sweater out of fingering weight yarn. It's a lot of work, but it is for the best because I wouldn't have liked to wear it because I just hated it. So yeah, it sucks, but sometimes it's for the best. Now, knitting in the present, I have one thing, and that is the long line cardigan because I have been on a mission. After my last podcast, I pulled out all my sweaters that needed sleeves, and I ended up with 5 sweaters. I talked about this last week. I had 5 sweaters that needed sleeves, and I have, you know, made it mission. I finished 2 already. I was working on the 3rd, which is the frock one, and now I'm working on the sleeves for the long line cardigan. I haven't started anything new. I'm still on my finishing my sleeves kick. So I'm quite proud and happy about that. So in my Donald Duck bag that my husband bought me, I have the long line cardigan that is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. I'm knitting this as part of her fall cowl that is going on right now. It started September 1st and goes through November 30th. I had to think about how many days that month has, but yeah. So this is the long line cardigan. The pattern is written for a fingering weight yarn. My yarns are sport weight. So I am using yarn from Stash again, which is a good thing. I have my scales in here. I got these as a birthday gift from a very dear friend a few years ago. And I use this for the sleeves right now because I think I need to use up every last bit of yarn that I have. So here it is. My long line cardigan has been, you know, a breeze actually to knit. Ah, I got my nail snagged. Ouch. Ow. Sorry, I have to get that off now because otherwise I will just keep getting. Oh, scheiße. So, okay, I'm gonna try to not snag it anymore. So I finished the body. It is a 5-color fade, and I am more than happy with it. I know that the colors are a bit, you know, boom, but I don't care. I love this. I think it's going to be amazing. And yesterday I started the sleeve. It is a top-down set-in sleeve, which basically means you knit a bunch of short rows. So it's super simple to do. I am now in the, you know, no short rows anymore part. What I did was I started it with my first color, of course, the hedgehog fibers that I had left, and faded into the second, finished the short rows, and I had already started the third color. And I have that much left of the third color that will go into this sleeve, and then I have lots left of the last 2 colors, so it's going to be no big deal. So these will be added on later. And I have the first 3 colors for my second sleeve ready to go. That's why I used the scale, you know, I wound off half of the yarn. And if I end up with like 1 more row of this on one sleeve than on the other, and 2 rows less than this, and then again 2 rows more of this, I don't care. They're going to be close enough because this scale weighs to 0.1 grams. So yeah, I'm going to be fine. So these are the little bits of yarn for the second sleeve that I have ready to go. I knit the sleeve cap on a circular needle because you do short rows, so you don't have to knit them around. And then I switch to DPNs because I don't like magic loop. So yeah, I enjoy this sweater a lot. I hope I will have enough yarn for long sleeves. If not, who cares? It's gonna be 3/4 lengths. Yeah. So the first color is hedgehog fibers. The second color is it's Dibadu. The third and fourth color are from Handgefärbt, a out of business German indie dyer, and the last color is Knitting Spiro, another out of business German indie dyer. So sorry, I'm showing a lot of stuff you can't get anymore today, but I've had these things in my stash for close to 10 years, so I need to get rid of them. So, Longline Cardigan. I hope to finish it this week, maybe. It's just 2 sleeves, you know, I can finish 2 sleeves in a week. And the last sweater that needs sleeves now is the Timeless Henley. And I really want to knit that after this. So I have them all done. We'll see. Because I'm itching to cast on something elaborate, you know. Which brings me, what a nice segue. That brings me to knitting in the future. I have 2 more things that I want to knit. I started kitting up the yarn that I got in Perth. I have 3 projects ready to go, and none of them I'm going to show now. I'm going to show you 2 totally different things. I want to knit the Guthrie sweater by Caitlin Hunter. It is a all-over colorwork sweater out of DK weight yarn that she knits on a very, very tight gauge. So I am not going to do that. I am going to use sport weight instead and knit it on a looser gauge. I'm going to try to show you the sweater in, yeah, here it is. I will show you this picture. So this is the sweater. This is Guthrie in her high contrast colors. The original looks like this. And to be honest, why bother knitting a complete colorwork sweater when you can't see the colorwork? There are some in there, it's supposed to be very low contrast, which okay. I just don't understand because you just can't see it. If I hold it back here, you have no idea that this is supposed to be a colorwork sweater. This, however, booyah, still a colorwork sweater. So I'm definitely going to do this in a high contrast because, yeah, that's just, I don't understand why you would go through the trouble to knit a full-on colorwork thing when you can't see the colorwork. So the yarn that I've decided to use is from my stash again. I have 6 skeins of this. Well, not 6 full skeins. I bought these in the factory shop from Shoppelwolle, and it is Cashmere Queen. It is a wonderful, wonderful yarn. It's a slightly felted single. Here I have one. And I bought it for cheaper because these skeins are not as big as they're supposed to be. So it was cheaper. The yarn is 35% cashmere, 45% merino, 20% silk. It is very nice. It's super soft and nice. I've knit a hat out of this in a different color, and it's gorgeous. So this is going to be my background color, and my colorwork color is going to be this. This is hand spun, and it is not hand spun by me. I bought this because I just liked it so much. It's from Ätherische Öle. It is a superwash merino and polyamide blend, and this particular skein has 513 meters. So I'm a bit short for both of the yarns that I need, but I'm gonna make this work somehow. So this is the colorwork yarn, and this is going to be my background yarn. And I think this is going to be very nice. Also, have it in my stash, and this yarn here is still manufactured, and I can buy more if I need to have more. So this I'm going to use up, and this I can get more if I need to. So I really think this is going to be amazing. So this is going to get started sometime soon, because I just really want to knit something that requires a bit more brain power. And the other thing, oh, by the way, new project bag. My husband brought me this from his recent work trip, and it's from Britex Fabrics in San Francisco, as is this one. He brought me 2 of them because he knows exactly that I do not have enough sweater project bags. So he brought me 2 new ones. So the other thing I'm going to start is the Sewed cardigan by Hiroko Pain. It is from the new edition of Land magazine, which is issue number 6. And I have to say, the pictures in here are quite small, so I'm not sure how much I can show you, but so this is it. A wonderful, beautiful cabled cardigan. And I love cables. So I already copied the pattern out of the book because I don't want to ruin my book. And they actually included a gigantic folded extra piece of paper for the cable patterns. And the original sweater is knit out of Labiana May merino Aran weight. And I checked, I would need 11 skeins for a size large of this yarn, because it has 160 meters, and I think I would need like 1,700 or something. So I would need 11 skeins. One skein of this yarn costs 28 euros, which means that a full sweater out of this yarn for me would be over 300 euros. And you know, I do buy a lot of yarn and I spend a lot of money on yarn, but 300 euros for one sweater is, even for me, it's the point where I say, you know what? Let me find a substitute for this maybe. So I did exactly that. I wanted to see if I maybe find something in my stash, and I actually found something, which blew my mind because that yarn weight is very limited in my stash. But I found stuff. I have 10 skeins of this. It is Rowan Fine Art Aran weight. It has 170 meters per skein, and the other one has like 166. So this is perfect. It is perfect. It is a very, I would say it's a dark dusky pink. I'm not sure if that makes sense because the color is not really showing, but yeah, I have this. I'm going to knit this on a larger needle than they recommend, because I think they knit the Aran weight sweater on a 4mm needle, I think. I'm pretty sure that I will use at least a 4.5 for this. So I can knit a size M, which I need 1,660 meters for, and I have 1,700, so I should be totally fine. Like I said, I have 10 skeins of this, and I will knit the whatever, out of the new Len magazine, because I want to knit cables, and I haven't knit cables in forever. I also want to get back to a started cable sweater that I have in hibernation, so we will see what happens. There's no spinning. Of course not. I hope to have spinning next podcast. Maybe. I'm not sure if I can get a podcast in before I go away for a spinning weekend. So I hope to spin on that spinning weekend, and then I will be able to show stuff. But I just don't know yet. Now for new stuff. I have gotten the new Len magazine, which is amazing. Len magazine is quite expensive, I know, but all of their patterns are test knit, which is a very good thing. The sewed cardigan that I want to start had 10 projects up before the pattern came out. And you could check out all the test knitters patterns like 2 weeks in advance before the magazine was published. So I love that. I think that's a very important thing for a magazine to do, to have their stuff test knit. So yeah, lots and lots of nice things in here. The cable cardigan I am definitely going to knit. And then there is another sweater that I really enjoy, and it's called Poet. And of course, it's, if I want to find stuff, I can never do it. So this is the Poet sweater that I really want to make. It's a fingering weight sweater with a lace pattern. And there's other things in here that I enjoy as well. So it's a very, very nice magazine to get. So I got that. And then I got 2 club shipments. I'm in 2 clubs right now, in the Hedgehog Potluck Club and in the Garn Stories Club. Because I really enjoy their yarn, but I don't like ninja buying, you know, where you have to be online and make sure to get just whatever you can and check out, because it's going to be gone in 2 minutes. I hate it. So I will not buy any yarn that is super hyped like that. It's not going to happen. So what I bought, or what I received, is my first Hedgehog Club shipment for my club for this time. And I got 3 skeins, like always. They are all potlucks, so I can show all of them because no one will have the exact same stuff. And there are 3 different weights. This is a normal sock yarn. And this skein will get destashed, I think, because I'm not a big fan of it. It's dark royal blue with pink and purple and an emerald green. And it's just absolutely not my colors, which is okay. I can destash it to a friend and, you know. Then I got a skein of merino silk lace. And I love this one. It has 700 meters. It's really nice. And the other skein is my absolute favorite. It is the merino Aran. That is the exact same base, I guess, than the La Vianame would have been. So I used this as a reference guide to check with my Rowan yarn. Yeah, it's 100% merino and it is spectacular. I love it. It's really nice. I'm going to knit a hat out of this. So these 2 will stay with me. This one will get rehomed, I think, to a friend, if I have a friend who wants it. If not, it's gonna get knit up into something in the future. And then the Garn Stories Club, I think, is a club where everyone gets the same. So if you don't want to see, go away. This is a 2 skein club where you get 2 skeins of her merino base. It's 100% merino, is it? Yes, it's 100% superwash merino, and I got these 2 skeins. And I absolutely love both of them. They are gorgeous. So this is the first ever Garn Stories yarn that I have. She's a German indie dyer. And yeah, I absolutely adore these. I think they are gorgeous. So that's that. That's everything I have for new stuff, which is more than I should have, to be honest, but well. Now for reading, listening, watching. I started the 2nd book in the 6 of Crows duology. And it is Crooked Kingdom. I'm that far into it, you know. Not that far. So I can't really tell you anything about it yet, but yeah. I enjoyed the 1st book. I'm sure I will like the 2nd book. And yeah, I can't tell you anything else because I haven't read a lot of it. So for listening, I'm not listening. I haven't started a new audiobook and I haven't continued with one that I have started before. So there is no listening at the moment. For watching, I finished Bake Off season 7. And yeah. My husband brought me back a DVD player from his recent trip to the US and it works. We got it set up, it is working, and my Bake Off DVDs can now be watched, which makes me very happy. So I've been rewatching season 3, original season 3, which equals American season 5, which I just don't understand, but I don't have to. So I started rewatching that and my son, he bakes a lot with me. And he sat next to me and said, what are these people doing? And I explained to him that they're baking and they get judged on it. And now yesterday evening when we went upstairs and I said, you know what? If you want to, you can just stay with me and watch something or you can go to bed because it wasn't too late yet and he was still quite awake. So, and he said, oh, let's watch Bake Off. And he actually said it in English. He said to me, Mama, ich will Bake Off anschauen. Okay, let's do that. So the whole family sat upstairs watching Bake Off. And my husband just said, is it possible to watch this without wanting to eat all the time? And I said, no, it's not. It's also not possible to watch it without wanting to try out everything. So yeah, I already did. I watched the episode, the bread episode, and they had the showstopper challenge to make bagels. And I made bagels the next day. And they turned out amazing, I have to say. They really were really good. So next up, sewing. I don't have sewing, but I went to a fabric market yesterday and I bought a lot of stuff. Because, you know, if you don't sew, you need new fabric. Because that makes a lot of sense. So what I want to do, I want to clean my room downstairs, which is the reason why there is no sewing. Because I just don't want to go downstairs to clean because I hate it. I hate to clean, but I have to. So I want to do that. And then I want to get back into sewing. I bought some really nice fabric yesterday for making big sweater project bags. I want to make 2 for myself and use the rest of the fabric for stuff for my shop. So hopefully that will happen soon. And now for everything else. I only have two things. The first thing is the next VKN will be this Saturday, which I think is October 6th. Is it? I have to check. I'm pretty sure because it's the 1st today. Yeah, it's the 6th. So October 6th, 9 p.m. Berlin time is the next VKN. I will, like always, post a link in my Ravelry group. So if you want to join, please do. We are a very nice group of people, so you can just come in and we will be nice to you. So let's do that. Okay, now the other thing I want to talk about is a bit, not really political, more about mental health and effects of things. If you're not interested in that, you can just go. Now, the last few times of my podcast, I have talked a little bit about how I feel and how I am doing. And I think it's important to keep that conversation going because I started talking about this for one simple reason, and that is I'm sick and tired of the perfection of the internet. And, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she said, you do seem very confident. And I say, yeah, because I'm a very good actress when it comes to that stuff. I'm not at all, but I can make myself look confident and strong, and I'm just not. So that is a very important thing for me to, you know, just be real and not make people think like I'm totally perfect and everything in my life is always awesome, because it's not. And a lot of the internet is showing you how perfect stuff is, and it's just not. So yeah, with the recent events in the US, let's say it like that, I will not get political. You all know what I like and dislike and whom I, you know, just hate. But the whole Me Too movement that got started last year, I think. And now the belief survivors that's been going on is a very tough subject for a lot of people, because I read something yesterday on Twitter, and Twitter is a shithole, by the way. Oh my God, people are so nasty on Twitter. I read something like, if the accusations of this happening were true, it would have come up like 20 years ago. No, it wouldn't. Absolutely not. And, you know, talking of from experience, which sucks, by the way, there are things you will never tell anyone if you don't have to, and if you don't feel like it is the right time to do so. And just, yeah, I've been feeling a bit meh, because of all the things that are going on, you know, just brought up some stuff that I had buried very deep down, and I was quite happy with that. So yeah, things are bubbling up, and I'm feeling a bit weird. Just weird, not really bad. I'm actually in a place right now where I start to feel better. But yeah, it's just, there's so much shit going on right now that just, it makes it hard to keep going with your normal life. And I don't put up things like that on my Instagram, because my Instagram is my safe space. It's the place where I enjoy my stuff, you know, where I put up things that I make or things that go wrong with my crafting, but just not talk about real life. So I wanted to talk about it a bit here, just to say, not everything is what it seems, you know, and unless you are this person, you just don't know what's going on in their life and what happened or didn't happen. So yeah, it's just weird times right now. Very weird. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because this is getting a personal. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time. I might talk to you again next week. If not, I will talk to you again the week after, hopefully with some spinning. And I hope you can join the VKN, because it's fun. Just try it out. And yeah, I'm going to stop now. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time. Enjoy everything you do. Bye.